thank you one more time this morning for taking your time on a Saturday to join iSI on this important day. My own name is Olufemi Fajulu, and I'll be the moderator of today's event. I want to welcome you one more time, and I want to thank you on behalf of the leadership of iSI. Today, we'll be kicking off the onboarding event for our 2023 cohort of scholarship awardees. Over the last 4 years, almost 200 Nigerians have benefited from this important scholarship, and their lives have indeed turned around. Today, another cohort of about 70 Nigerians are going to be welcomed into this organization. For those of us that have been following this organization from its inception, we offered what all these students need in order to be able to advance their career, to advance their dream of pursuing graduate education. We offer them help as far as GRE is concerned, and TOEFL, and most importantly, an unparalleled mentorship. So again, I want to welcome you. You are going to hear from a lot of our leaders today. You're going to hear from some of the beneficiaries that have benefited from this scholarship, and you will be hearing from some of the new beneficiaries too. So I would like to mention some important organizations and individual organizations that are represented here today. The Lagos State Scholarship Board is represented in this meeting, and we would like to give them the proper recognition. And also, we do have some news organization, somebody from our media team, the person of Ms. Mercy Ojetunde, is going to be introducing those news organizations. So again, my name is Femi Fajulu, and I want to thank you for being part of this event today, and I congratulate the awardees. So I would like to invite Ms. Ojetunde to introduce the news organization we have here today.
Yeah, please, before then, anyone look for the Beans, the guy that is called Beans, and get him off the call, please. Him or her.
And also, let's stop making annotations.
Yes, I'm clearing on this. So. Oh, sorry.
Next slide, please. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Yeah, from anywhere we are joining from. So we have the members of the press present in our midst this morning. We have Waliat Musa from The Guardian. We have Ifedayo Oguyemi from Tribune, Erioluwa Adura from Independent, David Bolarewa from The Nation, Cyril Isong from The Song, Efe Onoje from Vanguard, and we have Jerry Emanson from The Leadership. So I want to say thank you to our representatives, and I believe we have a nice time here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Ojetunde. So the next thing on our item of agenda is to watch a short video, and that will be followed by some remarks from the president of iSI, Mr. Victor Ogumola.
iScholar initiative was inspired by a product of life experience and a passion to build an innovative and solution-driven society. Growing up, I learned very quickly how a lack of support system could limit or delay an access to opportunity. I had to struggle financially through every level of education. I'm passionate about education, but nothing in my background was enabling enough to have been able to realize a dream. But my self-determination. But then came a time, the trajectory of my story completely changed just because I was awarded a scholarship. Similar to my story, there are several self-motivated but helpless individuals among our teeming youth in Africa. They only need a modest support in order to generate the much needed momentum in their career journey. This is the key driver behind our passion. This is our story. This is what really brought about iScholar initiative.
So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, as the case may be. And standing on existing protocol, I want to welcome you all to this special event. And I also want to congratulate our class of 2023. My assignment here is very simple. In the next 5 minutes, I will just be giving you the overview of iScholar initiative, our vision, mission, and the impact we've made in the last couple of years, as rightly mentioned by the Executive Secretary, Dr. Fajolu. This is the 5th edition of our scholarship offering, even though we've existed for 4 years. So we are super excited to see Nigerians realizing a dream. And we're even more excited for the possibility inherent in what we are doing in terms of how this will play back to our country. So our vision is to build a younger and self-driven generation for future leadership, innovation, and the overall development in Africa. And everything we do is tailored towards all this in order to achieve this. And I have to say that iScholar is a not-for-profit organization registered both here in the US and Nigeria, and it's completely run by volunteers, funded by partners. So, and everyone that works for iSI will work pro bono, meaning that it's just, again, a voluntary service. Here we have a great leadership team. We have our board of trustees led by Mrs. Tolulope Ewerido, with our team, Professor Idowu Olanyika, the immediate past Vice Chancellor of University of Ibadan. We have Mrs. Iyalode Atta, we have Mr. Owen Ukon, and we'll be hearing from him soon. He's our keynote speaker today. We have Mr. Anthony Oyakure, we have Mrs. Titilayo Olujobi, and Dr. Ike Eni. So that's the BOT team. And in terms of our leadership team, we also have our executive members and the managers. So on the left, these are the folks that run the day-to-day activities of the organization. And of course, our BOT, they provide the strategic leadership to the organization. And we have our managers who support all the initiatives. Every office here has a manager in a supporting role, just to make sure we effectively drive our activities. So very briefly, just to put things into perspective, like I mentioned, we started this journey back in 2019, and then being the very first edition, the awareness was not much, so that kind of reflected in the number of applicants that year. We only had 43, and that year we were able to sponsor 20 of those scholars. That's about 45, 46%. Then in 2020, the awareness became more, and we also had more people joining us, so we're able to build capacity. And that year we had 520 applicants, and 50 of them were awarded our scholarship. Then in 2020, so you can see the progression, in 2021 rather. So we had 860 applicants, and 50 scholarships were awarded. So, of course, that year we thought of, okay, we should be able to increase this number. But again, we are limited by our capacity. So as we move on, we continue to develop capacity. When I say capacity, I mean people identifying with the mission, coming on board. This requires a lot. We need a lot of people as mentors. We need a lot of people to review applications. And of course, we need people to put down the money that we actually spend. So in 2022, we had more of that, and we gained some partnership with some organizations, so we're able to increased the number of our scholars that we offer scholarship to from 50 to 65, of course, out of 1450 that applied that year. So the class of 2023, you will pardon me, I think this number is actually about 2,350. But I put 2,400 here, but it's almost like that number. But out of this, we could only fund 70. And those are the 70 we are welcoming to the program today. So once again, congratulations. So this is more statistics just to give you a deeper perspective about what we are doing and what the level of the impact has been. Again, in 2019, we funded 20 scholars. And in terms of the total number of applicants, because not many people apply, you recall from this previous slide, we only have 43. And out of them, 20 were funded. Then 50 out of 520, that's about 10% in 2020. We could only fund 9% in 2021, 8% in 2022. And of course, this year, unfortunately, because we are so limited, even though the number is increasing, so also the number of total applicants are increasing. So this year is just 3% of our total applicants that we are going to fund. So then in terms of, we call this conversion rate, when you come to the program, because our program is like a bridge to a greater thing, to grad school. So the conversion rate in terms of you being awarded scholarship and actually making it to the grad school by securing fully funded offer. So these next two columns here shows give that perspective. Like in 2019, yes, technically we have 19 scholars because we did expect one of our scholars that year for one thing or the other. So meaning that the 19 scholars that we did have, actually all of them eventually got fully funded offers. So then in 2020, out of the 50, at least about 46 have secured admission now. Then fast forward to 2022, about 57. So to put this into perspective, usually this takes about a year process, like from the time you join the program till you secure your fully funded offer. But it doesn't stop there. Some people get it within the first year, some get it within the next 2 years, the next 3 years. For example, our 2019 scholar, who were the very first set of scholars, I think the last person just got admission, I think last year or early this year. So, but when you are in our program, you are in for the long run. So then in terms of our cash investment, from our own part, in 2019, we spent less than $10,000 US. In 2021, $1,000. And this year, our budget proposal is $42,000. And this excludes every other thing. This is just the money we spend on our core operation, like paying for exams, paying for application fees, and other things that we do. So then in terms of cumulative grad program grants received by our scholars. So, this column kind of showed the cumulative amount that our scholars won in terms of scholarship. So imagine as a businessman, you spend $10K to get $3.5 million. So that is a lot, and that is a high impact outcome. And I think this is a real return on investment. So, and of course, our investment doesn't just end in paying for exams or application fee. We offer things that we cannot even quantify. That is the end-to-end, both academic and career mentorship. And this is one of our staying power. And many, many thanks to all our volunteers who take that upon themselves. So my last slide here is just a plea. Why you are thinking about voluntary service, you want to be a volunteer. And I can tell you, on behalf of the leadership, this will be the most, you will have the greatest experience of being part of iSI. Our mission is very clear. Our leadership is very credible. We are very transparent and accountable to you and to all our stakeholders. And our process is very, very robust. It aligns with, it reflects what, best practices. Then we have very passionate partners. Everyone that joins us, they can testify to that. So again, like I shared in the previous slide, there is a proven return on investment. So this is very, very obvious. Then our plea to you is you can be, there are different opportunities to be part of this. Yes, number one, we need the money. So you can be a financial partner. Like I said, every dime, every dollar you donate goes towards our core operations. So your money, you will see value for it, and it's spent on the core operations that aligns with our mission. Then you could be a mentor. Our mentorship program are in two folds. We have the student mentors who will take care of the scholars as they are coming in until they gain admission. Then we have YPCA, that's the Young Professional Career Advancement, a mentorship. This focuses on our grad students who are already in school. So we mentor them through grad school, and 1 or 2 years post-graduation as well, helping them to transition to real life. Then you can as well be an application reviewer. This year, as the operation team will be sharing with us, we had almost, over 2,300 applications. That takes a lot of resources from us to review those applications. So we need people. Then we need folks who can tell others about what we are doing and who can actually bring more partners to the fold. So you can be an ambassador. And we need media partners. So over the years, we've enjoyed a lot of partnership from the media, and it can get better. So this is the 5th edition of our offering. For example, we've never had any TV coverage, but we thank our media friends who have been in the print media, who have been very consistent in telling people about the message. What we are saying here, we want people to be more aware of what we are doing, so that they too will see a pathway and leverage on the opportunity that we got to offer. And we want people who will be willing to serve, who will be willing to be part of this, to hear about us. So once again, thank you, and I welcome you once again. Back to you, Femi.
Thank you so much, President Victor. Again, I want to thank all of you. Basically, what he's saying here is this program has real impact on the lives of real people, and we cannot do it all by ourselves alone. It started with a vision, and we have carried it like a mission, and we continue to go, but we need as many as possible people to join us. And he has highlighted the various ways you can be a part of this important, impactful organization. Before I proceed to the next item, I want to encourage all our managers, please pay attention to the waiting room. If somebody is not showing their names, I apologize. We'll have to remove them. I think I'm seeing one card there now. Please remove those to reduce the incidence of people that are intruding into the meeting. So the next item is another short video. We're going to watch that video, and that will be followed by a short presentation by our finance team.
So I actually started with iSI as a financial partner. I think like most people who've had opportunities like I have to be a global leader, you look back and you want to be part of creating that opportunity for others. And in iSI, I saw a professionally run organization with high integrity and a clear vision to create the next generation of leaders on the African continent via access to world-class education. So when I was asked to lead the board of trustees, I was honored to constitute a team that can complement the passion, dedication, and excellence already within iSI's culture. So we're now in position to leverage our currency as a board of trustees to amplify iSI to even greater impact, and that is something I am very proud of.
Let's welcome the finance team. Mr. Sheyi Ajayi will be representing the finance team. Mr. Ajayi,
Okay, I hope you can hear me. Good morning, everybody.
Perfectly, sir.
Okay, so you see my face, but I am representing this team of veterans. We are led by the board member, Tony Oyakire, and I'm ably supported by Mrs. Umlayo Hector Olukoya. With these great people, we are able to shepherd the financial resources that our partners commit to iSI. I count it to be one of my luckiest gigs to be a part of the leadership team at iSI, seeing the promise of young, vibrant, intelligent people offer the opportunity to explore the world of academic excellence, as we've been able to open up for them. And it's very humbling to see year in, year out, the commitment of our partners. Because without the commitment that they show in providing the financial resources that we need to be able to prosecute our programs, many of the people that we have supported through the program to date may not have been able to access the opportunities that we've opened up to them. So I just wanted to share this briefly to say thank you to every one of you that have been a part of this journey. And to those of you that are either hearing this or being part of this for the first time, I just want to reach out to you that, as Victor has said, the return on your investment is incalculable because of the potentials that you are helping to birth as a result of the commitment that you're making to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ajayi, and thank you to your amazing team. I always make sure I'm nice to you guys so that my department gets funded. So the next thing on our agenda is the citation of our keynote speaker. And to present the citation is Mrs. Patricia Oshogu. Mrs. Patricia is a fellow of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Exploration, an association that she was actually a former president. She's a former president of that association. So without further ado, I want to welcome Mrs. Oshogu to read the citation of our keynote speaker today.
Okay. Thank you, Victor. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whatever part of the world you're listening from. I would like to introduce Mr. Uwem Ukpong, who is the Vice President of Amazon Web Services, Global Services. Uwem is the Vice President at AWS, and in this role, he leads experienced cloud experts from across 4 key business units, including training, professional services in commercial and public sectors, customer support, and managed services and security. Together, this group empowers customers to take on transformative initiatives that drive cloud adoption and enhance value to their businesses and customers. In collaboration with our network of cloud certified partners, Uwem and his team enable AWS customers to rapidly scale their transformation journey from consultation on initial solution design to building applications through to ongoing optimization and support. Uwem joined AWS in 2022. He is passionate about helping customers to achieve seamless migration and modernization to the cloud and supporting them throughout their entire cloud journey. As the leader of this global team that is distributed across 51 countries, he is committed to the AWS mission to become the Earth's best employer, as well as promoting inclusion, diversity, and equity within his team and across the AWS organization. Uwem brings nearly 30 years of deep industry experience across technology, operations, energy, and software domains. He was previously EVP Regions Alliances and Enterprise Sales for Baker Hughes, where he led global oil and gas operations across North America, Latin America, Europe, Sub-Saharan Africa, Middle East, Asia Pacific, and China. Also, he held positions as Chief Global Operations Officer and VP of Integration. Among the initiatives he led while there, Uwem oversaw the successful integration of the $32 billion merger between GE Oil and Gas and Baker Hughes. Prior to Baker Hughes, Uwem served as the president of Schlumberger Software, where he was responsible for strategic development and commercialization of industry software and services for reservoir characterization, production optimization, and drilling. Uwem is a proud alumnus of FUTO, where he earned a BSc in mathematics and computer sciences. He took this a notch further at Heriot-Watt University, Edinburgh, UK, where he acquired a Master of Science in Petroleum Engineering. Please join me to give a warm iSI welcome to our Board of Trustees member, Mr. Uwem Uko.
Patricia, thank you very, very much. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
Yes, we can.
Thank you for that warm introduction. It's such a pleasure to be here joining the team and the management committee of iSI. This is one that we are all super passionate about. And for a lot of us, it's always about giving back. And as Victor rightly introduced, he said, everything we do here is all on the basis of volunteering. Now, first of all, I want to congratulate the 70 students or ex-students who are recipients of this iSI scholarship and initiative to get you all moving on to institutions of higher learning. You saw the statistics from Victor. We are somewhere in the 90+% in terms of success in placing every one of you in institutions of higher learning abroad. And so this is giving you all the opportunity to really further your careers and make something out of it while still being true to your roots as a Nigerian. You know, a bit about myself that's not in the biography. I was born and raised in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, of course, Nigeria. And my parents were in the oil and gas industry. So I had the opportunity to see what good looked like when people worked hard. And that was the inspiration I took with me, never taking anything for granted, wanting to always push the envelope in what I did. In fact, my parents considered me a bit of a rebel because when I graduated from FUTO, I was offered a job by Shell. And my mom and dad both work for Shell, and I told them Shell is not a family company, and I wanted to go off and go do something else. That was me wanting to dream big. That was me wanting to distinguish myself. That was me wanting to go far. And my topic today is all about being able to dream big and being able to go far. Now, the fact that you all have been selected to be part of this program does not mean that your work is over. In fact, the second phase or the next phase of your work is only just beginning as a result of this. And you are going to find a number of bumps along the way. You're going to find a bit of frustration, potentially. Some of you may just sail through because you are lucky. And some of you will have to work extremely super hard in what you do. But it's all going to be about tenacity. It's all going to be about resilience in how you pursue this step forward. Now, when we talk about dreaming big, you know, I always say to people, between dreaming big and going far are a series of tactical steps in between to get you to that far point. Now, when I joined Schlumberger as a field engineer, if you asked me if I would be at this point in my career, managing a team of 27,000 engineers and very senior leaders scattered across 51 countries across the globe, I would have told you no. If you asked me 28 years into my career, will I be fluent in 5 international languages? I would have said no. But in between, along the way, for me to get to this point, there were certain actions I had to take and be focused on. And that's what I want to take the opportunity to share with you all 70 students today. Because when I look back, I use this as a guide to how I got here, between the dream and between where I am today. So, for the 70 of you here who are on, if you have a pen and paper, I will ask you to please grab one, because I am going to walk you through what I call my CARDS principle, which has helped me get to this point. CARDS is an acronym I developed, and the acronym reads as C, A, R, R, D, S. So like a birthday card, but with 2 R's. And in terms of that tactical aspect of what we need to be able to do between the dream big and going far, the CARDS principle is what I jotted down as what had helped me get through this point. The C stands for creating connections. And for us as Nigerians who leave Nigeria to go to another country, it means you having to develop a new muscle, you having to understand the culture of the new place you are in. You're being able to create relationships, create connections, and those connections will be with senior people, much senior in establishment, your peers, or people who are below you. And you will find out, and I always stress to people, that creating connections is not only about sucking up to the top. Creating connections is about giving a 360 view so that when people talk about you, they talk about you in the spirit of humility, they talk about you in the spirit of kindness, they talk about you in the spirit of being inquisitive and being curious as an individual. For me, creating connections was through language. When I worked in Brazil, I learned Portuguese. When I worked in Equatorial Guinea, I learned to speak Spanish. When I worked in Algeria, I learned to speak French and a little bit of Arabic. And this was the way I established connections. And the example I give for young students like yourselves moving to a new country is, yes, there is a cultural ecosystem of Nigerians that are going to support you because you need to be able to land on your feet. Absolutely. But don't forget that you are in a completely new country and you have to spend time and make that effort to assimilate in the culture you find yourself, because that is what is going to carry you and give you that growth and lift. Your Nigerian community will give you confidence and show you ways to be able to make progress rather than you having to learn from scratch. You know, whether it's a Nigerian store where you want to go buy a bao yam or pounded yam or whatever, etc., or the church and the community you find yourself. But that connection piece is absolutely, absolutely important. I found out in my career that the people who spoke or who validated my connection were my teams who reported to me. Because my managers would visit those locations and speak to people lower below me and say, how is Mr. Okpong as a boss? And that was where the feedback came from. That's why I say it's not only sucking up to the top. The A stands for acknowledging your gaps. And for me, acknowledging your gaps is the biggest form of showing humility. When you know what you don't know, then that is the first step in how you then find ways to close those gaps. Some of you have come out with first-class degrees, second-class upper. You know, you've done very well in university. You know, a friend of mine or a mentor of mine said, your bachelor's degree is only there to help increase your coping factor when you go into the workforce and when you go into institutions of higher education. Because things you're going to do are very likely going to be very, very much different from what you studied in college. I did mathematics and computer science. We programmed in Fortran. Oh my gosh, Fortran was long way gone when I was doing Fortran in college. By the time I got out and started playing with computers, people were were programming in much different languages. I focused on abstract algebra in college in my mathematics program. No one was doing abstract algebra. We were using much more complex simulation techniques to be able to model subsurface and reservoir. But the key was that the foundation of the education we got from our universities created that coping factor for us to be able to learn what was new there. But acknowledging your gap is always the first step. Because when you know you don't know, then you are going to find ways to cover that gap. The R's, the two R's stands for risk-taking and resilience. I always say to people, when the most difficult assignment or opportunity was presented at me, I raised my hand and said, I will be the one to take it on. That was risk-taking there. Taking that risk. And I always say to people, you have to be able to qualify risk. Risk-taking does not necessarily mean taking a very, very crazy, stupid risk where you completely lose your house or lose your financial investments, but really trying to find the balance and say, this risk I am taking, is it a two-way door or a one-way door? If it's a two-way door, it means I can take this risk, and if there's a problem, I can course correct. If it's a one-way door, then you evaluate the risk and say, do I really want to go with this? Because when you go into it, you cannot come back. But being able to take risks is what has helped senior and influential leaders of today get to where they get to. Now, you all are not yet leaders, but even within the context of what you're trying to achieve today and move on to institutions of higher learning, this is where you start that journey of learning about risk-taking. And resilience quickly follows risk-taking in the sense that once you have taken that risk, you're going to find stumbling blocks along the way. Things are not going to go the way you thought they were going to go. And being able to be resilient and look at the glass half full. Some of you may be familiar with this concept, the glass half full or the glass half empty. It's the same thing. But are you always looking at it from a negative standpoint, or are you saying, hey, this glass is half full and I know it's only going to get fuller from here onwards, and I'm going to be resilient as I move forward with this journey or this risk I have taken. And so that's my risk taking there and resilience. Now, the D stands for a desire for knowledge. I talked about the acknowledging of the gaps and knowing what you don't know. You've always got to find time to know what you don't know. And that's that desire for knowledge. When my team presents to me and I see an acronym, I always ask them, can you explain what that acronym means? And my organization and my team know today that if someone is presenting to me and I ask what that acronym means and they don't know, I shut down that meeting and I send the person out to go find out what that acronym is, because you should never be standing or sitting in front of me and presenting an acronym you do not know. That's one. But two, if a concept is presented to me that I'm not familiar with, at the end of the day, I take time off, I go to YouTube and I go read about that concept. That's that desire for knowledge. Push yourself one extra step further. Ask yourself, I don't know this. Let me go take some time to go focus on this and just get to read about it. I tell you, you will find out that there'll be times you will be in a discussion setting. It may be work-related or not work-related. And that concept will come up. And because you had taken 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go familiarize yourself with that subject, you find yourself being able to have dialogue and establish and discuss on the table or in a setting. My degree, as I said, was in mathematics and computer science. I went into the oil and gas industry. I found out I had a gap. I decided to go do a master's in petroleum engineering, oil and gas for all of these years. Last year, I decided to take a risk, leave oil and gas and go into pure tech. Today, I work with the financial services industries around the world. I work with the auto industries, media and entertainment, the healthcare and life sciences. I work with national security, departments of defense across the world, Israel, the UK, Australia, the United States. All of this is all part of that drive to be able to expand your horizon and move forward. And my S in the CATS principle is all about setting personal priorities or setting strategic priorities. And those strategic priorities will be personal and could be work-related or education-related. I want to say congratulations to all of you students, because already you are setting a personal strategic priority to be able to go further your education and take yourselves to the next level. But from a personal side, you've always got to know where you want to be 5 years from now. That was a question, or that is a question I'm always able to answer. If someone came up to me today and said, well, where do you expect to see yourself 3 to 5 years from now? I can answer that question without thinking. And because I have set that personal strategic priority, the actions I take between the big dreams I have today and wanting to go far is what I am executing as a continuum every day, every night, every time I am thinking, every time I'm establishing a connection, anytime I'm acknowledging my gaps, anytime I'm taking risks and staying resilient, anytime I have that desire for knowledge. So all of this starts to come together. And so I was super, super pleased when Victor came to me and said, OM, we would like you to talk about dreaming big and going far. And what I say to people is, you can dream all you want, but there are certain actions you need to take to be able to go far. And I hope what I've explained here to you all gives you a bit of context. The CATS principle I never developed from the beginning when I joined the industry in 1993. It was only 5 years ago when a bunch of individuals and professionals like yourself came to me and said, well, come talk about how you got here. And I had to sit down and start writing. And I made up the acronym. So I'm happy I'm taking this opportunity to pass this all to all of you who are listening here. And I want to thank you again. You have a great opportunity to take part of this program or be part of this program. And I want to wish you the very best, and that success always comes with hard work, comes with resiliency, but you will always go and make success. Continue to make us proud as Nigerians, and all the best moving forward. God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Onwem. That was a powerful and very insightful speech, very educative. And I'm not a new scholar, but I can tell you wholeheartedly that I've learned new things today, and cards is joining my arsenal, and I'm going to be adding it to what I've been using. If I may quickly recommend another career path for you, maybe you need to take up the speaking gig. There'll be a lot of money in that.
When I retire. When I retire.
Okay. So we have a deal. I'll be the manager.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Again, thank you very much, listener. Thank you to all our guests. Now, the next speaker on our list today is the Vice President Operations for iSI, by name Mrs. Hanatu Kadia Banjoko. Her job here is to speak to you and eventually unveil the list of 70 Nigerians that will be joining the iSI family today. Without further ado, join me to give iSI welcome to Mrs. Banjoko.
Thank you very much, Sam. I am certainly very honored to be talking to all of you. It has been a very interesting season. My name is Hanatu Kadri Banjoko, and I serve at iSI as the VP Operations, and I'm responsible for the application and selection process. I'm tasked with unveiling the 70 awardees, but before I get to that, I like to give you a little flavor of what the application process is, certainly with the mindset of creating some clarity around some of the numbers. We do have some highlights when we look back at the process, and certainly some lowlights, and I want to highlight some of that here too today. The application season started in January 9th, when we opened our newly minted application portal, which we're very proud of, because this application portal has certainly improved the efficiency of the application process and simplified it for a lot of our prospective scholars. And because of the new application portal, we had a lot of engagement this season, and we're very, very proud of that engagement. We have over 2,000 people participating in the application process. Out of the over 2,000 people that participated, we had 534 completed applications. This is an increase over the participation and a number of qualified applicants over the previous years. However, we still like to see the number of qualifying applicants increase, with respect to how many people are participating in the process. And looking at the data behind all of this, kind of the chief culprit of applications not being completed, certainly with technology, with internet, access to internet and facilities. But the chief among that is the ability for this potential applicants to secure references from their professors, as well as their ability to secure the required documents that is part of the process, such as the transcripts and the degree certificates. And so we want to use this opportunity to implore the members of the press that are here to use their platforms to continue to elevate kind of this challenge that our graduates have in Nigeria with respect to securing the documents they need, certainly to further their education, with the hope of standardizing that process and making it easier for graduates. So we really hope that you will help us elevate this to the benefit of not just people applying for iSI, but bigger Nigerian graduates. So out of this, we had 519 applicants qualifying, and some of the disqualifying factors were certainly what we considered to be a little bit not fraudulent, but we had some applicants filling their references themselves. And that kind of speaks to the challenge that they have, and some of them feeling like they need to fill that reference themselves. And once we observed that, they were immediately disqualified. Out of the 519 qualifying applicants, we reviewed all of them. And the promise that iSI has to people applying to our scholarship is that we will give everyone a fair chance. And so we reviewed all 519 applications. It was a lot of work. We would not have been able to do that without the scholars and the partners who not only donate their money, but also their time to help read through all of the application documents, as well as their statement of purpose, and to help us shortlist the applicants that eventually move to the interview process. Now, we had 100 applicants shortlisted for the interview process, of which the 70 ultimately won the award. But the number is limited by how much we actually think that could do. And this is where I echo the call by everyone who has spoken earlier to all of you to continue to spread the word and to continue to help us improve our our money pool, essentially. We need more funds. The biggest limiting factor that created disparity between the 519 applicant review outside of their qualification is how much we think that we'll be able to do as an organization. And so we can certainly raise that number of qualifying applicants. We can certainly raise that number of scholarships awarded if we have the funds. And so help us to continue to spread this word. We need more partners. We need more strategic partnerships with industries and with universities. And so we rely on the members of the press and certainly the partners and the scholars themselves to continue to help us spread that word. I want to take this opportunity before I go on to unveil the numbers to thank everyone who has been part of this process. We had 45, certainly over 45 volunteers that worked tirelessly to make this process a success. I want to recognize the scholars who also donated their time and in true spirit of the iSI, of what iSI is, have started to pay it forward to other scholars. So I want to take this opportunity to recognize all of you, to honor all of you, to thank you for your time, to thank you for your money, and to thank you for your zeal to continue to support this dream. I think one of the highlights, sorry, I just wanted to say this, but one of the highlights of this process was the participation across Nigeria. And this was a concerted effort by the organization to make sure that we're not just reaching a select group of people, but we're reaching across Nigeria. And we certainly had participation from across 36 states and the FCT. We had a good diversity in terms of male to female ratio, and this is something that we're very proud of, something that we encourage, is something that we take concerted effort, to continue to improve. And so thank you, everyone. Without much ado, I invite everyone to raise their glasses, unmute yourself, and so that you can give a hearty cheer to our 2023 awardees.
Congratulations to all the 70 members of the new 70 members of iSI family, and of course congratulations to all members of the iSI family. This is great. We have done it again. This is the fourth time that we are doing this, and I want to congratulate the operations team. Are you done, ma'am?
No, I just thank you everyone for everything that you do, and to the scholars, congratulations, welcome to the family. This is certainly the beginning of the process, and so I hope that you have fun with this process, and I wish you good luck.
Again, thank you very much. Thank you for that fantastic presentation. I hope the scholars have all seen their names on the list, and now it is your turn to respond to what just happened. So first among the scholars to speak is Mr. Usman, Habib Mohammed Usman. So if you are there, Habib, turn on your audio and speak to the group. Habib?
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
We can hear you.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Habib Mohammed Usman. I graduated from Ahmad Bello University, Zaria. I was the first graduating student of electrical engineering. I graduated with a CGP of 4.83. As someone from a less privileged background, winning the iSI scholarship will definitely prove to be a game changer in my upcoming graduate applications. The GRE and TOEFL fees are funds which will ordinarily be difficult for my family to pay. The scholarship could therefore not have come at a better time. The sponsorship opportunity that potentially awaits me is also attractive. My expectation, having been selected for this prestigious scholarship, are to be sponsored for GRE tests and subsequently, upon obtaining a satisfactory score, to be sponsored for the TOEFL as well. Additionally, I expect that when I begin applications to various schools, iSI will offset the application fees of some schools that require such fees. Finally, I expect to be assigned a mentor who will guide me through securing a graduate school scholarships. Actually, without this iSI scholarship, my dream of going to graduate school will not come true. Thank you, iSI.
Thank you so much, Habib. We look forward to having you, and we hope that you are going to do really, really well. The next speaker among the scholars is Ms. Shinda Febo Shiburuama. I'm sorry if I didn't say your last name very well. So Shinda, if you're there, please turn on your audio and speak to the meeting.
Good day, everyone. I'm Shinda Febo Chimbroma, a graduate from Kenule Binson Saruwa Polytechnic in mechanical engineering. I graduated with 3.60 out of 4.0 scale. Last year, I began my application to grad school to study industrial engineering, as my drive for grad school has always been improving the industrial sector. After several applications to 20 schools in USA, UK, and Canada, I got 5 rejections. During the application to others, I discovered standardized tests were part of my admission requirements. Due to my background and being the breadwinner of a family of 8, the exam expenses would be a significant obstacle to my plan. Luckily, I came across the iScholar initiative that would fund my GRE and TOEFL exam, but I had the fear to apply because I am an HND holder. When I saw the advert, I was discouraged as my first degree is HND and they wouldn't accept me. But a friend of mine advised me to give it a try because I had distinction. I gave the application process my best in order to stand out amongst the BSc holders. And to my surprise, I was invited for the interview. I prepared so hard for the interview with the assistance of Mercy Ojetunde, and I received an email in May congratulating me as being one of the 70 shortlisted applicants. Being awarded this great scholarship has given me the confidence that anyone can achieve whatever heights they inspire to reach in life through hard work and persistence. It has also given me the confidence to apply to schools, as I am a distinction candidate. With my GRE and TOEFL score, I will get a fully funded scholarship to study abroad. My professional ambition is to become an outstanding HND female researcher who would advance in engineering on a global scale. I have always wanted my postgraduate study to be abroad, as this would expose me to advanced training necessary to succeed as a qualified researcher. I sincerely appreciate the founders, board of trustees, sponsors, and volunteers of iSI Scholarship for this great opportunity. I am deeply grateful to be awarded. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shinda. That was a great presentation, and I congratulate you. You can see that HND is not a barrier to you getting this scholarship. I feel I need to stress that HND is not a barrier. The only barrier is what you make out of your HND. You understand me? So if you have HND, or you know someone who has HND, or you know someone who is in the Polytechnic today, tell them to make sure that they get as high as possible CGPA, because that's a critical component of what will qualify you for this scholarship. And as a matter of fact, what will qualify you for grad school. So again, Shinda, I want to congratulate you, and we'll look forward to mentoring you and helping you through the experience. So the next cohort of speakers will be our current scholars, people that have gone through this experience, and today they have testimonies to give. So without further ado, permit me to welcome Ms. Cecilia Ezenya. By the way, Ms. Cecilia is already accepted into University of Central Florida, and she will be starting in the fall, which is August. Cecilia.
Okay.
She might be having issue with
Oh, yeah,
okay.
thank you. I've been unmuted.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Cecilia Uchechukwu Ezanya, and I'm very pleased to be at this gathering today. So I'm here to talk about my AC experience, peer mentorship, and how I was able to obtain my fully funded offer to University of Central Florida. So definitely the grad school journey, it's gonna be a rough and a very uncertain journey, but I'm assuring you today that with iSI, if a setting that's more like family, having people around to assist you, you can attain any goal you want to achieve as scholars of this great organization. In terms of peer mentorship, I'm sure we are aware that iSI has an added advantage of pairing us with scholars from previous years whose area of expertise aligns with that of ours. Yes, they're going to pair us with mentors, but I'm actually urging us today to start creating connections, just as Mr. Umem said, with other scholars, because you really cannot rely on your mentor, because these mentors are actually scholars and they will definitely be very busy pursuing their grad school journey. So you need to have more like a plan B. So it's very necessary that at this point, you need to start connecting with previous scholars whose area of expertise aligns with yours. And in terms of obtaining a fully funded offer, I'm sure we know that there are several factors that could actually affect that. First of all, we know that a lot of schools in the US and some other parts of the world actually give fully funded offers to people that are interested to go for a PhD. But that not said, doesn't mean that you have to apply for PhD for a grad school journey. Of course, you can still go for masters, because then there's some persons that might want to switch from whatever they did in their undergraduate study to something different. That way, it might not be really easy for you to switch from, maybe say, botany from what I studied to a medical line. So it might be quite difficult for you to go straight to a PhD. So at that point, what you have to do, you need to actually start looking out for schools that are maybe that, because, okay, like some schools now, they're quite competitive. Sorry,
Cecilia, if you can just bring it to a close. Just round up. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So basically, if you really want to achieve get a fully funded offer, you need the help of mentors. You also need to put in like 99% of your efforts. You also need to trust your guts. You need to trust your instinct that you can actually achieve it. And of course, ultimately, the gut factor is there. And with all this in place, I'm very certain that you can actually gain a fully funded offer to your school of choice. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Cecilia. I feel I need to just address some things. I guess you wanted to say that you cannot rely only on your peer mentor. It's not that you cannot rely on your peer mentor. We have, all our mentors are very reliable. When you call them, they will be there. But what Cecilia was trying to communicate was that make sure that you also have other people around you. We just heard it. The bigger your network, of course, network of good people, not just building network. The bigger your network, the more possible your opportunities will be. So we have our scholars who are willing to help you through the process. But like Cecilia mentioned, there are also students. Some of them are actually working. So you can't just say it has to be them alone. We wish it could be that, but the reality is that you need to have as big as possible network. So the next person to speak to us is Mr. Goshen David Mitchell, who is currently a grad student at the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom. Goshen, where are you?
I'm here. Good. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining. My name is Goshen, and I'm currently studying a master's in biotechnology at the University of Nottingham. And for me, it's been like a very rewarding experience, a transformative one, to be honest. Like I would always say, iSI has given me access to fellow scholars, because being in grad school can be challenging at times. It's never a walk in the park. But then you've got like fellow scholars that you could always, sometimes share your worries with, and then there's this togetherness, there's this willingness, when you say you're an ISS scholar, they always want to help in any way they can. And it's something I'm really grateful for. And just like past speakers have said, it is not just about ISI transcends past the funding of the, test and whatnot, the application fee. They've got like this, they want to follow your progress all through, right from the grad school to your career advancement and all whatnot. So I feel like I'm in a really, really safe hands, being in ISI. Come what today, if I've got worries about if I want to go in my career, if I want to go into the industries or whatnot, I've got people I could always reach out to for advice. So it's a really transformative one, and I'm grateful to be here, to be part of the family. And I would say for a fact that if you're a high scholar, you've got potentials just waiting to be discovered. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Goshen. Thank you. That was a wonderful presentation by you. Our next speaker is Ms. Esther Oyedele, who is a 2019 iScholar, a current graduate student, PhD student at Virginia Tech. She received a master's, I think this past December, from Bowling Green State University, Ohio. She had a Bachelor of Technology from FUTO, and I must say that Esther is one of our managers, is our program manager. She assists those of us that work at the iScholar Secretariat by making sure that we do what we need to do and setting us straight. So she does all these things while also being a student, just to tell you how some of our scholars are stepping up to the plate and volunteering their time and making sure that this organization has a future. So if you are there as a scholar, you have not been participating, you have not been volunteering, this is an example of someone who has been volunteering right from 2019, and you're going to hear from more of such people today. So without further ado, my program manager.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you, and congratulations to the 2023 iScholar cohort. I'm really excited on your journey and welcome on board. Like everybody have been saying, I would want to reiterate this. Please see this as an opportunity, not just only for you to be a beneficiary of the initiative, but also a way to give back, that is most important right here. And I've been prompted to speak on my graduate school experience. Well, I will not be able to speak about my graduate school experience without mentioning iSI. I would always say, iScholar initiative has been a light to my path. And coming to the USA was a prompt that one of my friends, David Nwore, who told me about the initiative then in 2019, and we both put up our applications, and glory to God, we were both successful recipients of the initiative. And being in the USA, like Mr. Dr. Fajelu, yeah, I need to mention the doctor right now. Like Dr. Fajelu said, I finished my master's degree here in the USA, and I'm currently a doctoral student at Virginia Tech. And I think I can be in a good position to speak about my graduate school experience. One thing I would want you guys to take note as you're preparing to come to grad school is, first, of course, you're coming to do research. And graduate school often, your research, you need to understand what you want to do. Please feel free to ask questions. Your research advisors don't expect you to know it all, even though they expect you have a certain knowledge on the topic you want to work. But don't be afraid. Like when I mean don't be afraid to ask them if you don't understand what you are required to do, rather than waste time doing nothing or trying to get it solved yourself, and you waste time without like achieving much on your research purpose. Also, graduate school, you're going to do a lot of coursework. It requires rigorous coursework. And you need to be able to plan yourself adequately, which is going to be the next point I'm going to talk about, is you need to have a work-life balance. Start thinking about how you're going to do it, because trust me, time management and self-care in the USA is, let's see, education in the USA or outside Nigeria is quite different. So you need to be able to understand how you can manage your time properly if you don't have that habit already, and you need to prioritize self-care. Self-care is important in graduate school, wherever you are. Self-care, mental health, these are all important things you need to take note of. And you need to make sure these will become aspect of your graduate school experience. I would want to appreciate iScholar Initiative for how they've been a guide to my part, including sponsoring my test, both the GRE and the TOEFL, and also the unwavering mentorship I keep getting up to date. So I would want to appreciate iScholars for that, and welcome once again the 2023 iScholar cohort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther. So you can, I hope you guys can see why I call her my manager, why she's actually in the role that she plays for iScholar. Again, thank you to all our current scholars that have given their worth of advice to the incoming scholars. So now the next set of people that will be speaking to us are our partners. They will be, only two of them will be speaking now, but I can tell you that we have hundreds of them. So who are the partners? These are people that actually make this organization possible. Without them, forget it. There is nothing like iScholar. So what do I mean by that? They are the ones that will give their money to pay for these exams. We are hoping and we are praying that very shortly we're going to start receiving funds from corporate organizations, but significant majority of our funding today comes from people like the set of people you are about to hear. You understand me? So they give their money, not just their money. You heard the operation manager, vice president, talking about the number of people that volunteered to review applications. These are the people that volunteer their time to review the applications, and not just review the applications, they also volunteer their time to interview the applicants, and they don't stop there. They also spend their time to mentor those that are currently in school by serving on our young professional and career advancement program. So our partners are basically the foundation, the frame, and the roof of iScholar. So please, when they speak, listen to them and kindly appreciate them. So the first person to speak today will be Dr. Sunday Leonard, who is a program manager at the United Nations. Dr. Leonard.
Thank you, Dr. Femi, and congratulations to all our scholars. I think I'm so excited. I was excited to hear Habib Usman speak because he's from ABU and I'm a Zaria-born person. I only left Zaria to FUTA when I went to uni, so I was excited. And then also seeing the other person who is from University of Nottingham, because I did my master's at the University of Nottingham. So I'll say congratulations to everyone. I think this is a great opportunity, and that you should take a very good advantage of. I think many of the things I would love to say, and many things have been said already that I won't like to repeat. I would just emphasize to the scholars that I would say, in addition to what has been said to us, I will encourage you to use this mindset that I took from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is to always begin with the end in mind. When I was in Nottingham, when I was leaving Nigeria for Nottingham for my master's degree, which was fully funded by Chevenix on a Chevenix scholarship, I knew what I was going to do next. So by the end of my first semester in Nottingham, I already have a PhD offer. And by the second semester, I already have a funded PhD at UCL because I already know what I wanted to do. Yeah, people were doing other things, looking for jobs, but I knew the next step is to do a PhD, and I pursued that. So have your plan in mind, begin with the end in mind, and then I would say expand your horizon, explore opportunities that will come around within that boundary of your goal. Make memories, enjoy the journey. It's going to be ups and downs, but enjoy it very well. They've talked about mentoring, so please find a mentor. And I will stop there in terms of the scholars, but one thing I want to encourage everyone on this IS is to please, partners, scholars, board members, let's think IS Scholar all the time. Let's think, how can we expand this? How can we use this to really make significant impacts? First, we are starting with Nigeria, but across the globe. How can we turn this to a global brand? Dr. Sheyi Ajayi sent a message yesterday about recruiting more people. Start thinking of more people. We saw that we are not actually offering scholarship to enough people that we would like to offer to. So let's think of how do we really expand this? How do we get more funds to really push forward this very noble cause? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Leonard. That was a wonderful one. I hope we are all listening again when I say our partners are main people that power this organization. And we need more of you. We cannot emphasize that enough. We need more of you. If you have friends out there that are willing to, that is any of your friends that is willing to contribute to the progress of Nigeria, contribute to the progress of the coming generation, please introduce them to this organization. So the next speaker this afternoon will be Ms. Olubumi Osazua. Ms. Osazua. Ms. Osazua.
I'm trying to unmute.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon.
This meeting has blown me away. I listened to Mr. Upong and I said, even at this stage of my career, I was able to take some things out of his acronym. And I also listened to Chinda Favor. And I said to myself, this is a part of that risk-taking. My name is Bumi Osazua. I'm a quantity surveyor, a chartered quantity surveyor, and also an engineer. I studied engineering here in the US. And when I referred to Chinda, I left Nigeria with an HND in quantity surveying and actually got employed by the government of Zimbabwe with that HND and my experience in working as a quantity surveyor. So when I looked at Chinda's story, I said, this is risk-taking, because there were many people who discouraged me about even applying to a government of another country to come work as an expatriate. Anyway, I want to congratulate all the scholars. I mean, you can already see that you have tenacity. If 2,000 plus people applied for a position and you only have 70 that were awarded scholarship, you really should give yourselves a pat on the back. This is all your work. This is your doing. You put your effort into it and it's appreciated. I'm going to assume that the 70 of you are going to get full funding. I want to believe God that you are going to have full funding to universities of your choice. So my talk is basically going to be on some of the points that Mr. Okong already touched on, and that will be how to thrive in these foreign countries. I've worked in Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa, and now in the US. And one thing that I quickly understood is in a lot of foreign countries, you don't take shortcuts. In Nigeria, you are used to where most people are used to the end justifies the means. When you go to a foreign country, it is very important that you learn the laws of the land and realize that your not understanding the law is not a defense. So go ahead and know the things that are acceptable in that land and that are not acceptable. A lot of things in Nigeria are acceptable, is not the same everywhere. The other thing, I think I had 4 things in mind. The first one that I talked about was avoiding shortcuts. The other one is mind the people that you associate with. Yes, you will associate with Nigerians because you need them to know, as Dr. Okwong said, where to buy your gari and everything. But you should also associate with people that are not of your color, that are not of your background. Talk to them, smile. A smile will get you, will open doors, even to people who don't want to say hello to you. Smile to the cleaner, to everybody. Associate with those people, but mind the people you associate with, because there are a lot of scammers. It's not only in Nigeria we have 419. There are a lot of 419s everywhere of every color. So you need to be aware of the kind of people you associate with. And then the third thing is, if something says to you, if somebody says to you and you feel that this thing is too good to be true, honestly, it is not good. If it's too good to be true, then it can't be true. Leave it alone. Or ask advice from your mentor, from other people, like, I've had this thing happen, so this is how to do this, but it looks too good, and you will get good advice. Then in that society, try to take the good things of the society, but never forget your culture, where you are coming from. You don't have to be I've been in America for 24 years. Everybody who works with me knows I'm Bumi, and I speak like a Nigerian. I don't try to copy anybody. And I still get to where I need to get to. So don't try to be what you are not. Be you. Be authentic you in everything that you do. Then the other thing, I will focus on America now. We have a drug epidemic in America. When I was in UT Austin, there was a boy that sat, a Cameroonian boy that sat in the bus and he died. Apparently, he had said to somebody in his dorm that he had a headache and he had pulled an all-nighter. This was an engineering student. And he was given tablets to drink for the headache to go away. And that boy ended up dead. So please, you only accept medication from your healthcare provider, because you do not know what other people are taking. Don't accept anything, even from your best friend. I think those are the things I wanted to touch about briefly. And I want you all to be safe, and don't forget to have fun even while you are studying. It's a balance. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much. She is one of our biggest cheerleader. She goes all out for this organization, and we can't thank you enough. We can't thank all our partners enough. God bless you all. Our next speaker is a man that I have a lot of respect for, and he's currently a principal technical instructor at Adobe, and he will be is called one of our proponents. It's not currently a partner, but if you want to know everything about iScholar, you can go to him and he will definitely guide you. Permit me to welcome Mr. Ademola Olateju. Mr. Olateju, sir. I know you are here somewhere.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to briefly speak to you. And I want to thank the iSI organization for all that you do to help the underprivileged, which is key because you are giving them the footing that will serve as a springboard for whatever they will want to become in the future. For the scholars, I want to congratulate you. This is just the beginning. Please take Mr. Okwan's acronym very seriously, and I want to employ the iSI organization to inculcate that as part of your program that you will build upon for the subsequent programs. I am a beneficiary of an exchange program, and I will tell you that the opportunities like this should be taken seriously. You should pay it forward. Make sure that you tell other people about the initiative. Tell others who could also be supporters of this initiative. And knowledge is currently democratized. You have no excuse to say, I don't know this, when you know that even when you don't know it, there's a way you can learn. YouTube is your good friend. And if you have anybody else who would think, or who you think may be of any help, know about that. I had the opportunity of teaching in the Polytechnic way back in the 80s in Maiduguri, long time ago. I've had the opportunity to work for the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria as a consultant before I get the exchange program to come and teach at the University of Detroit Mercy in the software engineering program. I've been in the industry for quite some time, so I know the opportunities are there. Look for them. Look for the good ones. Like the last speaker said, if it's too good to be true, then it's not true. Always take advantage of your environment. And some of us are going to be retiring soon because we've had the opportunity of spending over almost 40 years in the industry. So when we leave, you are the future leaders. We will rely on you. Whatever we have, we will support you. Don't feel shy from reaching out to anybody that you have come across. I didn't know I was going to be at Adobe when I started off in Nigeria a long time ago. And here I am today as a data scientist, as a software engineer, and leading a group of people to help our partners. I want you to see yourself in my role and beyond in the next few years. Congratulations, and thank you for the iSI organization for this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir, for that presentation. I hope our scholars are taking notes. These are important nuggets that you will not know when they will just pop up, and they will be the savior for you that day. You understand me? So I want to encourage you to make sure that you don't take any of the comments here for granted. They are very, very important. I've personally learned a lot today, even though I've been doing this for 4 years now. So please take note of these things. So we want to welcome someone who I consider one of the passionate advocates of this organization too, within the government, as a matter of fact, within one of the, actually the best government in Nigeria today. He saw our activities online and he immediately reached out. And since then, he has been advocating for this organization. He continues to push his government to make sure that this organization is recognized. And today we have the privilege of having here the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Scholarship Board, who is a man that I think is one of the finest public servants, passionate about the young folks of Lagos State. So permit me to welcome Mr. Abdurrahman Lekki. Mr. Lekki, sir, can you unmute yourself and speak?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here with you. I'm so happy to be a part of this. Like Mr. Femi mentioned, in my quest to encourage Lagos indigenes to get graduate scholarship funding outside of the country, I started to look out for organizations that currently run what iScholar run. I got about 3 organizations. I sent mails to them, and I can tell you iScholar was the one that is the most proactive. They reached out to me immediately, and we have been moving from one state to the other. We sought to partner with them such that our students can also benefit from this. We are at an advanced stage of our partnership, and we hope we are able to birth a relationship that every other state in Nigeria will follow suit and also partner with iScholar. And that's exactly what we wish for, where we get to start it, run the partnership. Every state, every private sector also runs such a kind of a partnership with iScholar and becomes a very, very big, a world-acclaimed project. And I sincerely believe in the capacity of those behind the iScholar dream. Their energy and passion for this work is highly contagious. I can tell you for free. We have a mutual respect for each other in terms of the passion we mutually share to ensure everything work out. I sincerely believe that this project will go places, and this project will be one of the several efforts that will define the future of this country. To the scholars, I sincerely want to implore you, take this seriously. It's a one in a lifetime opportunity. I recall as a young graduate, I tried I made several efforts to get foreign scholarship those days, but unfortunately, there were so many guides, just like this one you have in iScholar, and I didn't get it. I only got local scholarship here in Nigeria. So it's an opportunity for you. Please take it seriously. Do all you have to do. Do your due diligence. Do your research. Read. Follow up with your mentor. Research. Do all you have to do, such that we sincerely hope and pray that this year we will be able to proudly say we got 100% conversion. 100% conversion. And if each and every one of you is committed, truly committed to this process, I'm sure together we can achieve 100% conversion. So on that note, I want to thank the iScholar organization and all the board members, their volunteers, their partners, and their lovers. And of course, I wouldn't know how they will qualify me now, but I'm sure I'm either a partner or
advocates.
An advocate. Very good. Maybe one of these days I'll become their board member, because it's something I really wish to be a part of. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity, and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your kind words, and we hope to take all the lessons, and we look forward to working with you. So we're almost there. Before I introduce our next speaker, let me first of all thank all our volunteers, all our managers. You could see that some unscrupulous people were trying to infiltrate this meeting, but all our managers, they put up the guardrail, they put up a fight today, and we were able to deal with every single one of them that went through the cracks. I sincerely want to thank you on behalf of the president. I want to thank all our scholars that are volunteering their time for this organization. So now to our closing remarks. is going to be given by our Vice President in charge of Young Professional and Career Advancement in the person of Dr. Babatunde Alalade. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Fajulu. First, on behalf of the YPCA team, that's the Young Professional Career Advancement team, ably led by Mrs. Titilayo Jobi, I would like to congratulate our scholars again. Today is your day, and congratulations. But one thing you should know is that the sky is no longer the limit. The journey has just started. Please put everything you have into this, as I believe you are dreaming big and you are going to go far. Next, I would like to, on behalf of iSI, our BOT members, management committee, partners, invite our friends and families. First, thank you for attending this very important program. I would like to specially invite you to become a part of this. iSI is doing great things, and I believe you also want to be a part of this initiative. There are several things you can do for us. For example, in YPCA, we looking for mentors to mentor our scholars right through postgraduate school, all the way to starting their professional career. So please, if you want to be a part of this, just drop your email address in the chat box. Our team will reach out to you and we'll take it from there. To the gentlemen of the press, thank you for always being a part of us. Through you, we are reaching the world and the world is getting to know us. Please tell the world the more that iSI is doing great things for Nigerian students. And shortly, we'll expand this to include Africans. Okay. And again, to our BOT members, management committee, all our partners, wherever you are, at this point, I would like to say thank you and give you the power salute for a job well done. You're all doing great. And to everyone, thank you for participating in this program. And again, to our scholars, a very hearty congratulations. Back to you, Dr. Fajulu.
Thank you so much, sir. So after the closing remark, the meeting is closed. We'll welcome comments.